Hey everybody, I just wanted to talk to you for a little while about our new and improved action research assignment. So the main thing that you want to know is that you are going to do everything up until the moment where you start the research project. So I want to kind of talk you through things and discuss what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing a research proposal. So that's just like it sounds. It's everything you're proposing. I thought it might be beneficial for you to have it because you can go to your principals or to somebody in the school system and say, look, I have this great professional development. Here is my proposal package all ready for you to see, and I would love to do it, and maybe even I'd love to get paid for it. So anyway, let's talk a little bit about it and talk about the parts, and we're going to discuss them a little more thoroughly. And so really a research proposal has several different parts. There are 8 listed here. Don't panic because you already have some of them done and some of them are very small, like a title page. That won't take you long. An abstract, table of contents, introduction to your project, the lit review, methods, references, and appendices. So you see, you already have the title page. We'll just say you have that done. You already have the lit review, and you already have your references, and you already are working on your unit lesson plan. So that's part of what will go in the methods and the appendices. So you really have a lot of this proposal already done or in your mind, and you just need to get it out on paper. So let's look at a little bit about some of the descriptions of the things that you might not be as familiar with. So, well, the title page is pretty obvious, so I don't think you need any explanation about it. The abstract is a brief overview. It's like the ones that you read in a journal article where you pull it up and you look at it and you go, is this even worth my time? And you read it, and then that's how you determine if you really want to read the article or if it's valuable to you. So your abstract should tell the reader a little bit about the topic. The question, you can call it a question, a problem, an issue that you are addressing, a brief description about your method of research, what you were going to do to find out, and you can include what you believe you would find after if you would like to do so. Normally you have a full paper or full where they've already done the research, so they tell you in there this is the findings. But since you're just doing a proposal, you can kind of say, this is what I believe would happen, or this is what the researcher would believe would happen. So this is the hard part for me because I have a lot of words. But normally an abstract is only 200 to 300 words, so no more than 300. So you have to get everything in there, but be concise about it. The table of contents, I usually do mine last because things change. Or you can set it up in Word if you know how to do that and use it where it'll change for you. And so it's useful because that allows a reader to say, oh, I wanted to go look at the letter of consent that he or she used. So then they know exactly where to go to find that. Excuse me. So your introduction should prepare the reader for what he or she is about to review. You want to include just briefly what your problem, question, issue, topic, what that is so that they'll know. You want to provide enough information so that if the reader is not somebody that's familiar with, in this case, whatever aspect of teacher leader that you're discussing, then they can still have a good idea. They could read your article or your proposal in this case and understand most of what you were saying. You want to make sure that you include a statement about why you feel like this is important. How can it influence your school or schools in general, your school system, or any school? How can it be valuable? And so there's not really a length for an introduction. Sometimes they're half a page, sometimes they're a little more, because the longer your paper is, the more you know, introduction you might have. But just make sure that you don't give it all away in the previews, and that you keep it so that the reader knows but doesn't know too much. And there are lots of examples again. And I'm just going to say this because I'll probably say it many times, is that make sure you're using APA. Okay? So the lit review, yours is almost completed. Somebody just needs to get them graded. And so now that you're going to be working on the methods section of your research, as you're working on your proposal, you may just tweak your lit review a little bit. I'll give you, of course, feedback and comments. And also, you may just want to gear it a little bit more towards how is this valuable. You'll share information about your topic, and you'll use that information to demonstrate to people why this research that you're doing, why it's important that teachers receive this training and that sort of thing. So you'll have that information in your lit review. So you'll probably just tweak it or change it up just a little bit to gear more towards your argument for why you're doing what you're doing. And so basically you process and apply the literature you found to your own circumstances. So that's what I'm saying. You tweak it to make it fit your circumstances. The methods section provides a description of the proposed research. You will explain everything from the writing the letter to your principal for permission, the consent letter, letter of consent, all those things, everything you did, your thoughts, your plans. You can briefly discuss your pre-test and post-test you were going to do, why you think that's valuable, why you think that's a good one to use, why do you think that's important, how is that going to work for you. You'll want to include the actual copies of these in the appendices, but you'll just discuss them there. And make sure you review APA about how to put things in your paper or in your proposal and in the appendix or in the appendices. Be as detailed as you can. You know, this will remember, if you're trying to use this to be able to lead professional development, you want them to see exactly what you're doing, that you've thought this through, and that there's value to it. And also, I mean, you really don't want anybody to follow exactly what you did, but you do. You want others to have opportunities to use this. So it's kind of like a recipe. If you put it all in there, then people will know what you did to make it successful, or what you're going to do to make it successful. And just make sure that all this is written in essay format. Now, you may have a list here or there, but you're not just going to list this out step by step. It needs to be written more in a paper format, essay, paper, whatever. You know, just don't bullet things and that stuff a lot. All right, so the reference page will provide you with all the references you used in proper APA format. And you already have most of those. You may add a couple more before you're done. Don't forget, if you refer to your textbook, the research book, you can include that in there. Anything that you use to make this successful, make sure you have those. You want your articles to be peer-reviewed, and but if you did use something else, include it in there. Don't just leave it out. And then finally, you have your appendix, and that's where all of the items, all of the things that you reference in the methods will go in your appendix. So, so make sure you check APA to review how to do that also. So you guys are going to do great. I have no doubt this project is going to turn out wonderfully, and I hope that it's something that you can use productively in the future. So thanks so much, and have a great weekend.